Have you ever sat in your living room late at night, staring at a bag of chips or a plate of cookies, telling yourself you'll only take one, but before you know it, the bag is half gone and your heart feels heavy with guilt? For many of us over 50, this isn't just about willpower or snacking. It's about survival. The truth is, our bodies don't bounce back the way they used to. High blood pressure, cholesterol that sneaks higher every year, arteries that don't flow as freely as they once did. These are not just numbers on a doctor's chart, they're real threats to the quality of our lives. And yet, giving up the joy of eating feels like giving up one of the last comforts we have. Food isn't just fuel, it's a memory, a reward, a small pleasure in a day that might already feel heavy with responsibility. So, what if I told you that you don't have to choose between enjoying your snacks and protecting your heart? That there are real, delicious, heart-healthy snacks that can actually taste good, even better than some of the so-called treats we've leaned on for years. Today, I want to share 10 powerful snack ideas that not only satisfy your cravings, but also nourish your heart and give you hope that the second half of life can be vibrant, flavorful, and full of energy. As we go through them, I'll mix in my own reflections and a few lessons I've learned because I believe food isn't just about science, it's about the stories we carry. And if you find yourself nodding along or thinking, yes, that's me, don't hesitate to drop a comment because I know so many of us are walking this journey together. Let's begin with one of my absolute favorites, nuts, especially almonds and walnuts. Now, I know what you're thinking. Nuts are full of fat. But here's the twist. These are healthy fats, the kind that protect your heart instead of harming it. Studies show that a handful of nuts a day can lower LDL cholesterol, that bad cholesterol that clogs your arteries, while raising HDL, the good cholesterol that acts like a cleanup crew. When I first made the switch from crackers to a handful of almonds in the afternoon, I was shocked by how satisfying they were. They gave me steady energy instead of that spike and crash I'd get from sugary snacks. And here's the thing, if you lightly roast them or mix them with a few dried cranberries, it feels like a gourmet treat. The lesson I've learned is that not all fats are the enemy. Some are your best allies. So if you've been afraid to embrace nuts, give yourself permission to enjoy them. Your heart will thank you. Another snack that surprised me with its power is berries. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. They're not just colorful, they're loaded with antioxidants that protect your blood vessels from damage. When I was younger, I thought fruit was just nature's candy, something sweet but not filling. Now, I see it differently. Berries have fiber, which slows down sugar absorption and keeps you feeling full longer. And their compounds like anthocyanins actually help reduce blood pressure. I started keeping frozen blueberries in my freezer, tossing them into yogurt or just eating them straight, and suddenly snacking became something joyful and guilt-free. If you've ever struggled with the temptation of cookies in the evening, try swapping them for a bowl of berries. You'll be amazed at how indulgent it feels. Speaking of yogurt, let's talk about Greek yogurt. It's creamy, it's tangy, and most importantly, it's packed with protein and probiotics that support not just your gut, but your heart health too. I'll be honest, I was skeptical at first. I thought yogurt was for breakfast, not for snacking. But adding a drizzle of honey, a sprinkle of flax seeds, or some of those frozen berries turns it into a heart-healthy dessert. The protein stabilizes your blood sugar, which means you don't get that jittery crash later. And the probiotics have been linked to lower cholesterol levels. For those of us over 50, digestion isn't always smooth sailing, so yogurt can be a small daily helper in more ways than one. Now let me share a snack that feels almost too simple. Sliced vegetables with hummus. Carrots, cucumbers, bell peppers, dip them into hummus, and suddenly you're eating something creamy, crunchy, and deeply satisfying. Hummus, made from chickpeas and olive oil, is rich in fiber and plant-based protein, while olive oil itself is like liquid gold for the heart. I'll never forget the first time I swapped my afternoon chips for carrots and hummus. At first, it felt like a punishment, but after a week, I realized I didn't miss the chips at all. The crunch of the vegetables gave me that same satisfaction, and the hummus brought comfort without the guilt. This is what I mean when I say healthy food can taste good. It's about retraining our taste buds and allowing ourselves to discover new pleasures. Popcorn might surprise you, but when it's air popped and not drenched in butter, it's actually a whole grain that can be good for your heart. Whole grains lower cholesterol and support healthy digestion, and popcorn, when done right, is light, crunchy, and fun. I sprinkle mine with a little paprika or nutritional yeast for flavor, and it feels indulgent without the heaviness of processed snacks. It's the kind of snack you can enjoy during a movie night without feeling like you've sabotaged your health. And isn't that what we all want? To participate in life, to enjoy the little rituals without carrying guilt? Dark chocolate is another one that feels almost too good to be true. Yes, chocolate. But the key is to choose one with at least 70% cocoa because that's where the flavonoids live, compounds that improve blood flow, reduce blood pressure, and protect against plaque buildup in your arteries. When I eat a small square of dark chocolate, I let it melt slowly, savoring the richness, and it feels like an act of self-care rather than indulgence. Of course, moderation matters, but knowing that something so delicious can also support your heart makes it easier to say no to the candy bars loaded with sugar and say yes to something smarter. One of the most underrated snacks is avocado on whole grain toast. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats that lower bad cholesterol and raise good cholesterol, while whole grain bread adds fiber that supports your digestive and cardiovascular health. The first time I made this, I sprinkled a pinch of salt and a squeeze of lemon on top, and it blew me away. It was creamy, tangy, and filling. Avocado toast may sound trendy, but for us over 50, it's a perfect example of a snack that feels indulgent while truly nourishing your heart. Another snack that has been part of my routine for years is apple slices with nut butter. The crunch of the apple, the creaminess of almond or peanut butter. It's a pairing that satisfies both sweet and savory cravings. Apples provide soluble fiber, especially pectin, which helps lower cholesterol, while nut butter offers protein and healthy fats. I've often found that when I have this snack mid-morning, I'm not even hungry by lunchtime and my energy stays steady. It's the kind of simple habit that can slowly reshape your relationship with food, one small choice at a time. Edamame, those little green soybeans you find at Japanese restaurants, are another powerhouse. They're rich in plant-based protein, fiber, and isoflavones that support heart health. When I discovered you could buy them frozen and steam them at home in just a few minutes, I started keeping a bag in my freezer. A sprinkle of sea salt, and suddenly you've got a snack that feels exotic and fun, but is actually doing wonders for your body. Sometimes, the best snacks are the ones that surprise you, that remind you food can be both adventurous and healing. Finally, let's talk about smoothies. Now, I know smoothies can be a sugar trap if you load them with too much fruit or sweetened yogurt, but when made thoughtfully, they can be a heart-healthy powerhouse. I like blending spinach, a frozen banana, a handful of berries, and some almond milk. The greens add fiber and antioxidants, the banana makes it creamy, sucrane pur, and the berries bring that protective punch for your arteries. It's like drinking a dessert that also happens to protect your heart. I think of smoothies as a reminder that health doesn't have to be boring. It can be colorful, creative, and delicious. So why am I sharing all these ideas? Because I've seen too many people over 50 give up on themselves, believing that healthy eating means sacrificing joy. That is simply not true. These snacks prove that you can love your food and love your heart at the same time. And here's my encouragement to you. Start small. Pick one of these snacks to add to your week. Notice how your body feels afterward. Notice how your energy steadies, how your cravings quiet, how your confidence grows. That's the real power here. It's not just about numbers on a blood test. It's about reclaiming your sense of control and hope. And if you've ever felt like you're battling this alone, let me tell you, you're not. So many of us in this stage of life are learning, experimenting, and trying again. Share your favorite heart-healthy snack in it below. I'd love to hear what's working for you. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel because we've got so much more to explore together about food, health, and the joy of living fully after 50. As we close, I want you to imagine yourself 5 years from now, not weighed down by fear of disease, but energized by the simple daily choices you've made. Imagine walking into your doctor's office and hearing, "Your heart is strong." Imagine sharing a snack with your grandchildren, knowing you're modeling habits that might shape their lives too. This isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving, about discovering that life after 50 can be a time of renewal, of deeper wisdom, of richer joy. The snacks we've talked about today are just the beginning. The real story is about you, your choices, your resilience. So take that first step, grab that handful of almonds, that bowl of berries, that slice of avocado toast, and know that you are investing in a future where your heart beats stronger, your days feel lighter, and your life tastes better than ever.